Hey, how's it going today? It's Frank here, and I'm back on the movie scene again. Just after watching the snooker because the final finished yesterday. And yeah, I got to say congratulations to Wu Yize for winning that final against Murphy. Great final. There was a drama in it. I thought Murphy was probably going to do it, but Wu Yize was, yeah, he put a lot of good balls in the pocket and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a great final. And after that, I decided to go back in the movie scene again now. This movie is called I Saw the TV Glow. Now, I've heard about this, right, from TikTok and, from other sites like that, basically. Well, mostly from TikTok only, because that's where I get some of my, movie suggestions from, even though, you know what I mean anyway. And when I saw and heard about this movie, I was like, this movie sounds interesting. It actually ended up to be one of the most boring movies I've ever seen. It's one of those movies where I lose focus. It started off boring, even when I saw the text. I mean, yeah, the text was in pink just simply because of like the TV glowing. The glowing colour was pinkish purple, so I understand that. But yeah, there's not really much else to talk about in this movie. It's about this guy called Owen who gets introduced to a show called The Pink Opaque by Maddie. This when he starts watching the show as a kid, and the show is sort of it's meant to be like a paranormal show, and it makes Owen and Maddie question their reality more or less. Owen and Maddie sort of believes that the show is a bit more deeper than than anybody thinks, to be honest. Yeah, there's so much else to really. And don't get me started on like the way they talk as well. Like the way these characters. I know my left ear popped. It still has, by the way, which I don't know why. I've had this issue before, and it just went back to being like normal again. But even the way the characters were talking, it was like they were mumbling. Like I apologize if like the Owen characters any sort of like issues. I do apologize, but if you're gonna cast somebody in a movie or show, make their voices clear. The way you sound like a robot. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. That's cool. Sorry? I know I've got my ear popped there, but I still even turned the TV up. It's still mumbled. Same with the Maddie characters. Just the characters didn't look like they were up for this movie to act in this movie at all. And the storyline sort of confused me as well. It's like, how did it get from one, part to like the next in that sort of manner? The dialogue as well, I don't know what to think of it. The only good piece of dialogue was when it came to like the Maddie character talking to Owen about why she ran away. Because like her house she ran away from her house, I think, because of, I thought the house didn't really catch on fire. She burnt the TV because she set the TV on fire just because the show was like being haunted and the character and stuff like that. And she sort of told Owen, which, to be fair, which I kind of like in this. So this is probably the best part of the movie, was this piece of dialogue, which she said, you also asked about question of reality, and you remember stuff like how it used to be. And she also said, do you often think of life as like a show or something? Because she compared their TV show to their reality, which, to be honest, I think the same too. All our lives are a movie, right? We all go through different genres in life, and we all choose a path in life, and we all go through certain things, and that's what I kind of agree. It's like the Shakespeare phrase, the world's a stage, and I could see where this movie was actually coming from regarding that. Basically, I completely understand it. Not many people would see it as like an ordinary movie. They say it's just like some sort of dialogue. It's deeper than that. And even like Owen was struggling to believe, I could tell in his eyes he was gradually believing it. And then you see like this Maddie character just sort of, how do you describe it? Just sort of what I thought was like a bit of monologue, but she was actually talking to Owen about like what she did when she left her home, and how she made her money and stuff like that. It was, I don't know if that was even needed, to be honest, in this sort of movie. I mean, they try, And they tried to make this movie sort of like in a romantic sense of the music and the heart. I don't want a heartwarming horror. I want a full-on scare or whatever it is in horror movies. There was no need to add in any heartfelt. It's meant to be a horror. No heartwarming things in it. That's what annoys me. And it does rattle me when... I should forget rattled by this, to be fair. When I see stuff like this in horror movies where it's like the music is all beautiful and the characters just talking in a nice calm way and it's just felt romantic. I know it's a horror drama. I know drama's added to it. Come on, man, it's a horror. I'm expecting to see more craziness. And there's scenes where you see Owen talk to the camera about the tapes he's watching and about what happened to, Maddie. It's like that wasn't needed. That was not needed in the sites. They did not have to add any sort of, like scenes like that in. Like it just didn't feel like the sort of movie that needed that. I mean, the end in part 2. Well, you got to watch the movie. So I need comments. And this is why I need comments on these sort of movies. I need help because if there's anybody out there that just sort of like can actually give a theory to what's happening and what's going on, then fair enough. I mean, maybe the fact that what Maddie was saying to Owen was that maybe he's living out his own movie the entire time. Maybe he was in his own TV show. But again, the movie wasn't quite clear on what was going on. There could be two things at this movie. This is my theory. The fact that they're living out their own movie style in this case, or I don't know, to be honest with you. I just thought this movie was going to be about them watching the show and paranormal things started happening. It was the complete opposite. Nothing paranormal was happening. The only paranormal thing was that when he got towards the end, he had to like leave the cinema job, because he didn't leave the cinema job, but the job in the cinema got closed. The cinema closed down, so he had to move somewhere. And it cut this scene after he watched the movies, because he said that he has his own family, and after he watched the episodes, it was kind of different to how he remembered it. And again, I think that this movie's bringing the Mandela effect, which is quite clever, to be honest. It's a shame it's the wrong type of movie for them to be talking about that. And again, this scene towards the end, it's sort of a bit weird, where you get these workers singing happy birthday, but then the arcade was kind of in the form of the movie that they were watching, or well, actually TV show more like, not movie, but the TV show, The Pink Opaque, the show that they were watching. This is probably one of the bits I like in horror movies, where you're in a room full of people and everybody just sort of start acting a bit strange, just like where they were saying happy birthday, and Owen sort of doesn't feel right, like he is like possessed or under the influence, and he sort of starts going mental and starts saying stop it, and everybody just is all like this, like they're all in a trance. I've seen horror movies like this. I've seen scenes like this in horror movies where everybody just sort of is just like different compared to the other person in the room. That's what I like in these type of movies. This is probably one of the most interesting parts in the movie, because it's like, what's going on here? It got a bit deep at that point, but again, there wasn't really much to tell. I mean, he went to the bathroom, he sort of cut open his chest, and you hear you see like static or the colour, and it's sort of like the TV show that he's been watching throughout his life. I mean, I don't understand. And then after that, it just cut back to him just getting dressed up and leaving to go to work, and he starts apologising to people, but they're not coherent with him. So I wonder if he was having some sort of dream or nightmare in that moment, or actually, what if the TV show brought him into a different dimension? Again, the movie wasn't clear, and it just ended after the arcade scene. For an hour and 40-minute movie, it felt excuse me, don't know what happened there. It just kind of felt like it felt short, because there wasn't really any detail. I know I've skipped a few scenes, but because those scenes were boring, there's no need to add those scenes into it. What do I say to this movie? There's, like I said, there's a few theories to this. I one, there was because especially the football field scene where I don't know what happened, what Maddie gave Owen, but I didn't quite see what was going on there. And maybe, I think, in her head, because sometimes people sort of like have this in their mentality that they act out. It's like reading a book, right? And this is where people sort of, you can have a person that has like different personalities that read the book and they pretend to be a character from that book and sort of, you know, not give too much away when they're talking to people. You know, so that's kind of like when Maddie's sort of train of thought, where she was kind of thinking to herself, oh, I'm in a movie, so I'm going to act as a different type of character in this. Or maybe the TV show took over her, maybe it possessed her somehow. She started just acting as if she was one of those characters in the movie. She compared herself to one of the characters, not in the movie, but she compared herself to one of the characters in the show. Or like maybe, I don't even know. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm struggling to get it out, but maybe that was part of it, possibly. But then, how did it get from him sleeping whilst watching the show to him being in the arcade? How did it come to that? It makes no sense. That the movie was not clear to me. That's why I'm struggling to explain the theories on this, because it doesn't quite make much sense, to be honest. Just please in the comments tell me what your theories are. Were they stuck in the movie in the entire time like that, or did the movie possess them, or were they just like, you know, playing different types of roles? In because of what I've seen, Owen was struggling with afterwards he was watching the show, and I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's not the movie I was planning to watch, but I saved it because I thought it was going to be good. I'm glad I watched it so that you can know, you know, I gave you a brief summary of what the movie's like. You can tell me anyway what you think about it. Excuse me. But yeah, rating for this movie, apart from one good piece of dialogue which I enjoyed, other than that, the rest of the movie was just plain out boring. It confused me. The storyline was all janky. I don't know if to use that word, but it was. The movie wasn't quite clear what exactly is the show. Did the show have some sort of possession over them? Because they compare it to real life, but I expected certain things to happen to them like they did in the movie. It was the complete opposite. It's like they had relevant scenes to what the movie was about, but then they made it irrelevant. Which, to be fair, like, I don't understand at all. Like, I don't mind confusing movies, but I need to understand it somewhere. And I don't mind movies where it goes, what the hell is going on? But this, I didn't have any feelings to it. It made me lose focus. And I had to keep focus so I can make this video. So look, please tell me what you know in the please tell me what you think in the comment section. Rating 2 out of 10. 2 is extremely generous. I feel like this movie don't deserve at least that. I have to give it a positive number, and I don't think there's any positives apart from that one good dialogue which I would allow. You know what I'll talk about. I'll let you know what the dialogue is. It's when Owen meets like Maddie at the bar, and that's the scene I'm talking about. Yeah, I know I'm trying to explain my theories, but then it just feels like it's all the same theories all together. So, look, I don't want to rant on too much. Improvements, everything. If it's a horror, please, for the love of God, have something horror elemented to it. There was no horror. The shows might be supernatural compared it to their lives of reality. They didn't do that. There was nothing of the sort. It was just them talking about how the movie, the show is. And then it just had some random scenes that they didn't need. I need to see more of what was going on there. There was nothing happening. So look, it didn't make me jump out my seat. Would I recommend this to anybody? No. But should you give it a watch? Possibly, yeah. Attempt to watch it. Then you can tell me what you think. Anyways, 2 out of 10 is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.